Good day and welcome to EJC News, your monthly recap of news items taking place across the East Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Fabia Phillips Lawrence. In the news, 3 conventions successfully staged so far. Year of Proclamation launched and health directors receive training. Now the news in detail. 3 conventions were successfully staged in the month of January as the East Jamaica Conference aimed to carry out 4 at the start of 2017. The first of 4 was held at the King's Chapel SDA Church on January 14 and was just what everyone expected. EJC President Dr. Eric Nathan, in welcoming persons present, again reiterated the importance of transformation in the lives of each present.
As we bring our convention in focus today, we are talking about experiencing the transformation. And we know you cannot experience transformation and you are not transforming the way you eat and drink and the way you dress.
The main speaker for that convention was Stewardship and Ministerial Secretary for the Jamaica Union, Dr. Astor Bowers. His presentation stemmed from the theme, Experiencing the Transformation. He reiterated that if persons wanted to experience transformation and make it to heaven, they had to spend more time with God. He spoke of the visions of John the Revelator and those who made it to heaven.
These are they that have what? Come out of great tribulation, and don't miss the next line, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. That's talking about transformation.
For convention number 2, the EJC team journeyed to St. Thomas, where another special gathering was accommodated at the Woodburn SDA Church. Hundreds congregated from the Yallas and Woodburn district of churches in that parish. The same theme, Experiencing the Transformation, was used as guest speaker. Dr. Earl Cameron, professor at the School of Religion at Northern Caribbean University, delivered his message on the topic, The Legacy of Curiosity, while basing his story on the experience of Zacchaeus. He lamented that sometimes persons are not happy when others seek to turn their lives around.
Some folk are not very happy when sinners return to Jesus. When people have stepped away and they return to Jesus, there has to be great rejoicing. But there are some folk who are not rejoicing.
3 police officers were also welcomed at the convention and special purse granted based on their request. Pastors and elders were invited to encircle them while Dr. Cameron prayed for them.
Right now, we are presenting them to you. As they traverse the roads and the hills and the valleys, every day trying to serve and to protect our people. Lord, I pray a special protection and covering over them.
In ending his sermon, Dr. Cameron issued an appeal for persons to let Jesus abide in their hearts. Meanwhile, those present were buoyed by the testimony of news correspondent and church member, Brother Henry Shirley, who testified of a near-death experience. He spoke about being attacked and robbed at gunpoint, but rejoiced about God's saving power over his life.
But friends, I just want to let you know that it makes sense for us to serve God. Of course, I prayed and God helped me. When I realized what was happening, I started to pray and God was on my side. I'm here today to say thanks, because if it wasn't for God's goodness, I wouldn't have been here. It's not because of what I did, but God, in fact, was good to me.
Over to convention number 3. The speaker for the Divine Hour was president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Jamaica, Pastor Everett Brown. He stressed the importance of persons present being there for spiritual renewing and transformation.
Here in his letter to the church at Ephesus, the Apostle Paul, using the imagery of clothes, says, it is now time for the church of the living God to stop marching time. Now time for the church of the living God to experience a spiritual breakthrough. Now time for the church of the living God to grow into spiritual maturity so that we can be ready for the second advent of Jesus Christ.
Meanwhile, during that same day, Dr. Nathan reminded pastors and leaders to report every case of abuse involving children that come to their attention. Dr. Nathan addressed the church on the matter in light of the sexual abuse allegation of 2 church pastors from another denomination that gripped the country recently. Pastor Brown seized the opportunity to make it clear as well that no one would be sheltered by the church if they were found guilty of any crime, including the abuse of children. These 3 conventions also featured the usual parade of districts where a delegation of workers and students of educational institutions within the conference marched along with representatives of the different church districts, including pastors, elders, and church members. Each special event also continued in the afternoon with reports of the evangelistic activities from the previous year, among other things. In other news now, more than 230 individuals were recognized and awarded at a special Lord Transform You membership appreciation service mid-January. They were awarded with plaques and certificates for their service and contribution to the mission of the church in EJC. Pastor Carl Cunningham, Director for Sabbath School and Personal Ministries, and whose department was mainly responsible for planning the program, explained that the function was organized to recognize individuals for their faithfulness and commitment to the church. The event was held at the Hagley Park SDA Church and marked the official launch of 2017 as the Year of Proclamation. The guest speaker for the event was Dr. Balvin Braham, Assistant to the President in the area of Evangelism and Training and Development at the Inter-American Division. He spoke about the importance of mitzvah in the Christian's life.
When we come together for spiritual transformation, the devil shakes in his boots. What does God want in East Jamaica Conference from workers and lay members? God wants mitzvah.
Mitzvah is the Hebrew name for watchtower or lookout.
When we come to mitzvah with prayer and reflection and fasting and intercession and study of the word, when we come to mitzvah, verses 10 to 11 tells us God thunders.
Meanwhile, health directors received training in the early part of the year as efforts were made to better prepare them for the task at hand. One session was used to train health ministries leaders on how to do tests such as blood pressure, sugar, and cholesterol. Meanwhile, 15 master guides and 4 drill instructors were invested during a brief ceremony during the afternoon of the 3rd convention. The 19 individuals went through 1 year of training in order to successfully complete the program. They are now eligible to train and lead other pathfinders and their clubs. And finally, 104-year-old Isabel Lewis received some attention during this month by the Golden Age Home and a media entity for longevity. Our conference was also present to share in the special moment. Prior to her residency at the Vineyard Town Golden Age Home, Sister Lewis was a member of the New Haven SDA Church for several years. And for events to come in the month of February and onwards, please visit our website at www.ejcsda.com and subscribe to our mailing list. And you can also have a look at our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at EJC SDA. And that caps this month's edition of EJC News. God bless.